Game tester job. The main job of a game tester is to go through a game, level by level, scene by scene, and make sure that everything is working correctly and that the game is functioning up to par. You will need some knowledge in programming, and you will need an eye that pays very close attention to detail. In most cases, the difference between a top seller and a game that does not do well at all is attention to detail. Game tester triumph. The secrets behind game testing and making some cash. Game testing basics. Synopsis. Have you ever wondered whose job it is to make sure that video games are working correctly both during and after being developed? The answer to this question is a game tester. If you are interested provider of excellent gaming experience to all of the gamers who will use it. Gaming can be executed with the use of a computer which contains an example or several types of video games. A personal computer usually serves as one of the most efficient and powerful tool for gaming in this modern world. Most latest models and versions of computers in the market nowadays are already equipped with powerful operating systems that can play several kinds of video games in a very smooth way. A personal computer which has a powerful operating system can open the video games that are full of high-definition images and three-dimensional graphics. Important facts about compatible for the system of a certain model of personal computer to make sure that their money will never be wasted while searching for the most interesting examples of video games to enjoy in their houses during holiday seasons and evening hours. A video game must be provided with sufficient amount of space in the RAM to make sure that a gamer will be able to perform gaming in a computer. The available space in RAM depends on the total amount of memory that a computer has. If the RAM of a computer looks insufficient for the size of a new video game which is meant to be installed in its system, an upgrade to a high-performance RAM will be a great solution. Using your phone. Synopsis. Before, the idea of gaming as a special activity is limited only in personal computers and old-fashioned gaming consoles. But due to the sudden changes and improvements in the gaming industry, new technologies were introduced. Such technologies help the gamers to play their most favorite video games anywhere with the use of a small gadget which can be inserted on their pockets while walking in outdoor places and other public places. Right now, gaming is already accessible in mobile phones due to the existence of the latest inventions of the most popular manufacturers and distributors of such type of products. Of course, only those mobile phones that are equipped with powerful operating systems and innovative gaming systems can help the gamers to satisfy their extreme desire to play video games from time to time, even while in their schools or in their offices. This new trend in the gaming industry helped the gamers to make their most favorite video games more accessible. Not all models of mobile phones have an ability to play video games. Only the latest models and most expensive mobile phones are the portable devices that the gamers can consider as additional gaming tool in the industry nowadays. Mobile phones for gaming activity. Now, the act of using a mobile phone is already one of the best ways to enjoy the quality of entertainment and relaxation that gaming can provide. It's a great opportunity for those gamers who do not want to invest in the market nowadays are already